And we are here live in Ottawa. I am Robert Garrett Jr. alongside Mark Lopez for this Week 1 SFLm action as the Birmingham Fuel come in to take on the Ottawa Cavalry. Mark, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, Robert, and hello, SFL Nation. Robert, I am absolutely excited. Excited for the first ever week in the history of the SFLm. Excited to see up-and-coming rookies and coaches play it out today on the field. And probably on top of all that, Robert, I'm just excited to be casting and calling the game with you. And if you're a fan, and you better get pumped up too.
A lot of excited rookies getting ready to play their first game in the SFLm. As we will get kickoff, the Birmingham Fuel will receive the ball first. And the Birmingham Fuel look to get started hot under head coach Adam Wiseman in what is his first season along with all of the other coaches. So the kick is underway and caught, taken out to the 27-yard line. We'll take a look at the Birmingham offense. We have quarterback Ben Stone, running backs Micah Dillon and Cairo Martinez, fullbacks Alex Legrove, wide receivers are Zach Lay, Ryan Quintero, and Beth Horal, and then tight end Kyle Lang. They will start with split backs in the backfield, one on each side of Ben Stone. He'll take the snap and drop back, step up into the pocket, and immediately get sacked. Goes down early for the Fuel.
Yeah, and good opening defensive play for the Cavalry right there, just showing that they're in it to win it.
Mike Coverson, the one with the sack for the Cavalry, playing this game at home today, excited to get going, try and get things started right for their team. The Fuel will come out with offset back to the left as he's going to drop back the pass and throw this one. It's caught, and it's just 3 yards short of the first down line.
Yeah, and good catch right there for the Fuel there. Yeah, they want to start off this drive strong, and keep going down the field. And first drive of their season so far, they just want to show what they've got.
Going with the heavy set package on 3rd and short, but Ben Stone going to drop back to pass, throw this one out to Micah Dillon, who's immediately going to get dropped in the backfield. Or excuse me, that was Cairo Martinez. Dropped in the backfield for a 3-yard loss. Now a 4th and 6. They're going to have to punt.
Yeah, and good job on the tackle for loss by Brody Gulch. Good pressure as well by the defensive line, forcing Ben Stone to throw to his safety valve right there. And overall, a good defensive effort by the Cavalry so far. And now they get the ball back, and we'll see what they have for their offense.
And the punt is off and high. Fair caught by the Cavalry as they will receive the ball at the 31-yard line. Their offense coming out led by quarterback Javier Vasquez, running backs Kevin CA and Stephen McMichaels, fullback Chris Komisak, receivers are Art Vandelay, Benjamin Warner, and Gene Valentine. Tight end is Leonard Butler Sr., and the center is Nate Garner. Going to take the snap under center, 2 backs in the backfield. Vasquez drops back to pass, throws this one outside, and it's caught. They say no contact there, and he gets back up to the line of scrimmage before being dragged down.
Yeah, a good effort by both teams on the defensive end and the offensive end. But so far, Robert, it's been a game of pressure. The front 7 and the front 4 have been just piling on the pressure, forcing these quarterbacks to throw to their safety valve.
Yeah, Kevin CA got lucky there, laying on the ground. The defender just jumped a little too high over him, not able to make contact to roll him down. So the Cavalry now at 2nd and 10. This ball's handed off to CA, who's going to go ahead for about a gain of 4 before being dragged down.
And I believe, is that Mo Austin? Nope, that is number 29. I must have lost him on my roster sheet, but good tackle right there, limiting the offense to just a 4-yard rushing play.
So 3rd and 6, they will go with a back on each side of Vasquez. One receiver to his right. He's going to drop back and throw this one over the middle, but nowhere near the receiver. who was Benjamin Warner on that slant route.
Yeah, and even if the pass was on point, you have so many defenders. He's gonna be throwing in traffic. It was a risky play. You could almost say he was lucky that he threw it to no one. Otherwise, it would have been a risky, probably an interception too.
Riley Quintero will go back to wait for the punt being made by Tony Law as these teams trade punts on their first drive of the game. The snap is back and the kick is up. It's going to have quite a bit of hang time before it gets to her. She's going to take it up to the 29-yard line, and that's where they will end up. So the Fuel will come back out to take on the Cavalry defense, who we have not covered yet. It's defensive end Mike Coverson and Cam Frosby, defensive tackles Scott Stover and Derwin Nuevo. Linebackers are Brody Gulch, Austin Heath, and Deontay Wilder. The defensive backs are Mo Austin, Kenny Fenimore, Dakota Johansson, and Shad Allen. Ben going to drop back to pass, throw this one deep. It's almost picked off, but not able to grab it is Kenny Fenimore.
And boy, oh boy, these defenses are just showing off their skills early on in this game. Only about 3 minutes have passed, and already we have several deflections, tackles for losses. Boy, Robert, I am excited for the defensive struggle this is going to be.
Yeah, and the first game of the day was another defensive back and forth battle. The second game, not quite as much. The offense is shining, but again, the defense is here today as Ben Stone drops back to pass, finds an open man, and hits him at the 42. Now the Fuel going to go with the hurry up. Split backs in the backfield for Stone. He's going to drop back to pass, throw this one out to the running back, who's going to stumble and get just past the line of scrimmage before going down.
And they keep going, Robert.
Yeah, they're going to continue with the hurry up, trying to get downfield. They see something in the Ottawa defense that they like, so they're going to throw this one quickly, and there's a flag on the play. I think it might be a pass interference. It looked like the receiver may have tried to go back for the ball, but we'll find out.
Pass interference, number 25.
And they do call the pass interference, so a tough penalty to take by Ottawa. And the Fuel get to march down the field a little bit more, but the Cavalry get a little bit of a break.
Yeah, and as you said, that was a tough penalty indeed, because they almost stopped them on the 3rd and long and probably would have forced them with a punt. And now they're, giving Birmingham another opportunity to just move forward.
3 receivers to the right side of Ben Stone, 1 back behind him. He's going to drop back and fake to the play action. Throw this out wide, and it's going to be caught, but out of bounds is the receiver, so 2nd and 10.
So, Robert, something interesting that happened in the previous drive where there were 3 hurry-up plays. I'm impressed by Ben Stone's sidearm throws. The one sidearm throw he made looked pretty on point, a laser down the middle of the field.
Yeah, Ben Stone throwing fairly accurately so far this game, but not able to get that pass there on time. This play, he will have bunch to his left. 1 back behind him, going to drop back to pass and throw this one. It's almost picked off, but falls to the ground as Johansson is not able to pull it in.
And as Ben Stone was targeting Zach Lay, when your receivers are sort of, this is a combination of being both late to the route and what seemed like an underthrown pass. The safety right there, the defensive back just being on time, on point, jumping early, reading that route, perfect defensive play.
The Fuel facing a 3rd and long at the 48. They got to get some yards here. They're not quite in field goal range. They're too deep. Ben Stone going to step up in the pocket and throw deep, but this one is deflected by the defense, and they have forced a 4th and 10.
Yeah, and if number 92 didn't get his hands on that almost looked like a 6-pointer for me, Robert. What do you think?
Yeah, that pass was fairly open to the receiver, but they were able to jump the pass, knock it down into the ground, and force a punt by the Fuel. So these teams not being able to get anything done offensively so far. with just 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Punt is back and up. Got kind of close to being blocked, but not quite. They will receive it and take it up just past the 20-yard line where they will go down. The Cavalry has the ball again, looking to get something done, this time on offense.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever played tug of war, but the ropes are tied to a stone pillar, this is what's happening here. Both teams gaining very little forward progress, while Birmingham got some significant progress, but not much to convert for a score.
No receivers out wide, back in the backfield for Ottawa. This ball is handed off. He's going to stiff arm a man and spin out of another one, get the first down before going down, and that was just a strong run by Kevin Sie.
Yeah, strong is quite the understatement. It almost looked like major league level running right here. The spin, the broken tackle, picks up 10 yards, probably 11. That was solid right there for him.
Marlon Marshall is the guy that got put down into the ground after that first stiff arm as Kevin Sie marched his way down the field. So Ottawa has the ball at their own 32, 1st and 10. Sie to the left side of Vasquez. The rest of our receivers out wide. This ball is thrown, quick out route. He's going to get a first down and a little bit more to the 45 before stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, and credit to Gene Valentine right there. Usually plays out route plays like that, and at the sideline as the receiver sort of maintains their momentum to the sideline. But he was able to just turn vertical and pick up a first down for his team.
And something we haven't seen a whole lot today. Quarterback having a whole lot of time, no pressure in his face so far this game as Vasquez has. The Cavalry offensive line playing great. And this play will be an weak I formation for the Cavalry. The ball is handed off to Kevin Sie, and he's immediately dropped behind the line of scrimmage to face a 2nd and long.
Yeah, and the front defense, the defensive front of Birmingham right there, just able to push forward at the right direction, read the run play, and just stuff him right there before he could gain any significant or any positive yards for that matter.
Vasquez lines up in the shotgun, a back on both sides, 2 receivers to his right. This ball will be handed off, but get just past the line of scrimmage where he will be dragged down. 3rd and long upcoming for the Cavalry.
Yeah, and again, another play where just the defensive front, and that was player number 56, David Horrell, making a good defensive tackle for just a tiny amount of yards gained.
They will look with a bunch set out wide as Vasquez jumps up into the pocket and throws that one, but it's tipped up and falls to the ground as the receiver was not able to pull it in.
Oh, and that is an unfortunate series of events. We saw that the pressure was easily staved off by the offensive line, and the receiver almost wide open, but probably a little tip, or as the defensive back caught up to him, he heard those footsteps and unable to haul that in. As you said, could have been a pivotal first down conversion.
Tony Law will have to come back out for the Cavalry and punt this ball away again. The snap is back and his punt is up. The Fuel await the ball and they will catch it, but immediately be tackled and dragged down at the 24-yard line.
And I think, Robert, the name of the game so far has been missed opportunities. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be just one team who makes the one single play, that, the one big play that scores them big yards and puts them forward enough for a field goal or even a touchdown.
Yeah, as you kind of said earlier, it's almost like a game of tug of war with a pillar, but each team gets a little bit pulled their side as Ben Stone is sacked yet again.
Big sack for a loss of 8 yards. These teams set up their defensive lines like bulls, angry bulls just rushing, in this case, rushing to the white. I guess if you're the Birmingham team, those are bulls rushing towards the red. And insane defensive efforts by both teams so far.
Austin Heath rubbing it in a little bit, jumps up and flexes, standing over top of Ben Stone, telling the people that he has arrived. The SFLm is here, and he's ready for the hard-hitting action. Ben Stone will go under center. 2 receivers to each side of him, 1 back in the backfield. He's going to drop back to pass, takes a quick drop, pump fake, throws this one, and it's caught by the receiver, taken down just short of the line to gain at the 32.
And Beth Horrell, good picking up, pulling that ball in, even through impact, even through traffic. Yeah, and sort of making up for the lost yard through that sack. And you see right there, as 2-3 people pile up on her, she just pulls it in. Good effort right there.
Yeah, and she, as you said, had coverage just all over the place, able to find the ball, stay focused on it, and pull it in. So get them to 3rd and short. Ben Stone under center, 2 backs in the backfield, going to hand this one off, and it's going to be taken across the first down line to the 35.
Yeah, and you might say, oh, that's just 3 yards. But Robert, if those 3 yards every time gives your team the first down, I'll take that any day of the week.
And Cairo Martinez finds the hole perfectly, gets the first down for the Fuel, and they're able to continue marching, something that neither offense has been able to do very well so far. Going to be an I formation for Birmingham. 2 receivers to the left of Stone. He's going to drop back to pass, takes a deep drop, and throws this one out to the sideline. It's caught. And I think Riley Quintero would have gone much farther, but Toe just hit the out-of-bounds line and had to stop the play.
I absolutely agree 100%. I thought he was gone. Right here, look at that wide open space in front of him. But the right toe, the right foot just steps out of bounds. Oh, that's a shame. That's 6 points. Again, another missed opportunity. But the lesson learned is that there is an opening in the Ottawa defense. And if they can exploit a similar opening, they can go for a score.
And after that play, it showed him on the sideline just yelling about it. Pretty upset, as Cairo Martinez will take the ball 8 yards before going down at the 39-yard line. 2nd and 2 for the Fuel, and they're starting to get things going. They figured it out.
Yep, and Cairo Martinez picking up a little, picking up a little steam. The past few places carried the ball. It has been for good, positive yards.
Ben Stone in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left side. He's going to drop back to pass, step up in the pocket, and throw this one. And he's got plenty of yards to go. He finally gets dragged down at the Ottawa 32. Just able to sneak that ball in to Alex LeGrove.
And I believe, who was it? Was it number 24, number 25, who was so close in making a tip at the ball, but unable to sort of deflect that away, allowing Birmingham to just get more positive yards. And again, Robert, another first down.
Yeah, and Ben Law playing incredibly smart, like a veteran quarterback, holding the ball to the last minute, able to get it away just before taking what would have been a sack. He's going to drop back for this play and throw this one. It's caught at the 21 where he goes down. And, I mean, the Fuel are knocking on the door right now, Mark.
I feel like just for this drive, they have shown that they have good fundamentals, especially on the offensive line, just bumping off any. There was a couple of rushes forward, but the offensive line just staved them off, and then on the receiving end, they just run their routes almost perfectly.
Bunch formation to the right for the Fuel. Ben Stone flanked to the left by his back. He's going to drop back to pass and throw this one quickly to an out route who's going to get smacked at the 16-yard line and go down. Zach Lay on that catch. And for the first time this game, we see a team in the red zone.
That
Ben Stone going to go under center, 2 receivers to his right. Cairo Martinez is behind him, but he's going to drop back to pass again, throws it over the middle, and he's going to get hit before he can pull in that catch. Just a big hit by Brody Gulch, who wasn't going to let them get anything on that play. And so the first time in the red zone for the Fuel, and they're in a little bit of danger facing a 3rd and 4 at the 16-yard line. Ben Stone going to go under center in the I formation. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Going to take his time before taking the snap, dropping back to pass, throwing this over the middle. And it's going to fall to the ground after he misses the throw to Riley Quintero.
And that was another opportunity for a score right there. Now they got to kick it. Well, at least they are in good position to kick it for a field goal. The first points of this game so far, and I'd say a good drive for Birmingham right here.
And Nico Cappuccino is out to kick the first field goal of this game, or at least the first attempt. As he waits the snap. The snap is back. The kick is up. And it is good. So the Birmingham Fuel strike first, get up on the board, scored a 3-0. And Ottawa's got to find a way to answer.
Yeah, that's right. I think Ottawa can answer. They have several weapons that they still want to show off. Javier Vasquez has made only a few connections with his receivers, but I believe once those connections are made, they can easily drive the ball down the field just as easily as Birmingham did.
And the kick is off and brought out across the 20 to the 24-yard line, where Benjamin Warner will be dragged down and the Cavalry offense will come back out. So they got to look to get something going. They managed to get Kevin CA going pretty well on that last drive, but it kind of fizzled out. See if they go back to it here as they come out in a heavy set formation, only one receiver to the left side. Vasquez drops back, fakes a handoff to the fullback, and then immediately throws a dart to him for a quick 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and that was sort of a good trick play right there, picking up 4 yards. But if it's 4 yards every single play, that's going to give you enough yards to keep getting first downs, and they're happy with that result.
And they will come back out. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left side of the formation. Going to turn around and hand this ball off, but it's going to be stuffed right at the line of scrimmage as Kevin CA was able to go nowhere.
And the offensive line were pretty good in opening gaps, but the defensive line, especially, I believe that was number 64, Bernard Patterson, quickly turned around and closed the gap in a flash and just made that incredible tackle.
So facing a 3rd and 6, Vasquez in the shotgun, going to step back to pass and throw this one. It's caught and across the first down line up to the 39-yard line before he is pushed kind of to the ground, kind of out of bounds, a little bit of both.
Yeah, but whatever the case, he got the first down for his team. And Robert, the one thing that I'm impressed about both teams and about all these players, they're showing grit. Like in this one little play, sort of forcing extra yards, he doesn't settle for 10. He goes for at least 1 or 2 more yards. That's the kind of grit you want to see in a rookie. That's the kind of grit you want to see in players who are looking to transition into the SFL Major League.
And the first down reception was made by Art Vandalay. Now they come out in a weak I formation. The ball's going to be handed off to the fullback, who's just going to power ahead and get just over 9 yards. Chris Komisak with a great run.
Yeah, and I can't say any more than what you said. He literally powered through. He was the embodiment of power in that one play, dragging several defenders with him before going down.
And that is the end of the first quarter. You are watching Simulation Football League Minor League action on YouTube. We come back out in the second quarter now. Ottawa on the 49-yard line and seemingly marching, facing a 2nd and inches. Vasquez under center, heavy set behind him. Going to hand this ball to Kevin CA, who gets the edge and gets the first down to the 50.
Okay, I was surprised he got through. He almost looked like he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but I guess he just powered through enough to get the first down. But good effort on both ends, on the offense to push through and on the defense to prevent any further yardage gain.
They will come back in. Tight ends in tight to the formation. No receivers out wide. Single back in the backfield for Vasquez. He's going to hand this ball off to CA, who's going to get smacked 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I think, Robert, this is at least the 4th time, or maybe the 5th time that CA has been tackled for a loss. I mean, Birmingham really just has his number.
And Joey Schwint, the one in on that tackle for loss there. And as you said, I mean, Birmingham's just been playing the run fantastic this game, and it showed. Vasquez going to drop back to pass this play, throw it out, and it's caught at the 50. So they only get back up to where they started this series.
Yeah, that's right. And they're only at the midfield right now. They have to push for more yards to get into field goal range to match Birmingham with the score. So we'll see what they can do. I hope they can make it past their first down to at least keep the ball moving forward.
3rd and long for the Cavalry. Bunch formation out wide to his right. Vasquez going to drop back to pass. Find a guy open in the middle. He's going to get to the 10, still not being touched, and he walks into the end zone.
Oh boy. And what did I say about one big play, one huge play, just taking the opportunity? Yep, he found his man wide open, and there was just enough space between Gene Valentine and the defenders. As we see right here, yep, several yards away from the closest defender, and he just runs right in. Robert.
Yeah, the safety just read that play wrong, stepped up shallow instead of playing a deep zone coverage, and the ball's dumped right over his head. Gene Valentine scores the first touchdown in Ottawa Cavalry history. So now Amy Shalizzi in to kick the extra point. The first time she's attempting any points in this game. They're awaiting the snap. The snap is back. The kick is up, and it is good. So the Cavalry take a 7-3 lead at home against the Birmingham Fuel.
And this might just be the turning point for Ottawa to sort of turn up the heat and gain steady steam for their offense, and hopefully for them, gain more points.
And Amy Shalizzi kicking this ball off. Riley Quintero back awaiting the kick. And the thing that Ottawa has to remember is Birmingham figured out their offense on that last drive and was able to score 3. They got to be careful. And Quintero brings this ball out to the 36-yard line. An incredible return for the Fuel, and they start in fantastic field position.
Yep, and in a game like this where every drive has almost ended in a punt, every single yard is important. The secondary game right here is one thing that we're going to look out for.
Ben Stone going to go under center with 2 backs in the backfield, a receiver out wide on either side, and they get a free play, and it's going to work in their benefit as Cairo Martinez got dragged down right at the line of scrimmage.
Probably rookie nerves right there, going off sides and given Birmingham just another opportunity at, just moving the ball forward.
Cam Frosby, the one called for that neutral zone infraction. And I think we could all see it. Just as you said, got a little bit nervous and tried to jump a little early, catch them before they could get set. Now facing an I formation. They're going to hand this ball off. It's going to be taken up and get just to the line to gain for a first down at the 46-yard line. Great running so far by Cairo Martinez.
Yep, and as Shad Allen and Kenny Finnemore right there to meet him on the tackle. It almost looked like he could have broken away for extra yards. That is good for his team, picking up first down, and now another first down for his team.
Ben Stone under center, and the ball will be handed off, taken across the 50 to the 47, and they're facing a 2nd and 4. This running game just marching downfield.
And that was basically a deja vu play right there. Same gap, same path, even the same running moves pulled off. A little bit of a swim move as he went past the line. And, just picking up 6 yards on that play. Man, solid runs from him so far.
Ben Stone back under center. 2 backs in the backfield again. You got to think this might go back to Martinez. And it does, but he's stuffed behind the line of scrimmage for a 1-yard loss at the 48.
Yes, sir. And they said, we've had enough. Deontay Wilder. He said he's had enough of all these positive yards. Let's give him another tackle for loss.
So 3rd and 5 for the Fuel. Ben Stone going to take the snap from shotgun. He's got trips to his right. He's going to step back to pass, throw this one over the middle. It's caught at the 40, where they will go down, and they got the first down they needed.
And what a catch right there. That was closely covered right there. But Kyle Lang with his size, he's 6'4" and 230. He just uses his size, forces his way to the catch, and pulls it in. Good play right there.
I formation for the Fuel. Ben Stone under center and Martinez dotting the I. This ball will be handed off, and he'll get an outside edge, take it up for a gain of 7 before he's dragged down from behind. Ottawa just isn't able to find an answer so far for the Fuel running game and Cairo Martinez.
Yeah, and Cairo Martinez just given Birmingham a significant boost in each of their first down plays, averaging about 6 or 7 yards for their first downs.
Only one receiver out wide for the Fuel. 2 backs in the backfield. This ball handed off to Martinez, who's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. So Ottawa's defensive line playing smart that time and sitting in the hole waiting for something to happen. Cam Frosby on the tackle.
It's interesting that Birmingham has sort of settled for a very run-heavy drive, or a very run-heavy strategy for this drive, sort of trying to drain the clock, but they are sort of the one who is behind. Probably they want to score, leave just not enough time for Ottawa to score on their own.
Ben Stone will drop back and throw this one, but it is a backwards pass, first off, so possibly considered a run, but really just a bad choice of play as Ottawa had that play read from the get-go.
Yeah, you just said it, a bad choice of plays. We couldn't see it from the camera angle, but I bet you the running route or the pass routes have been covered well for Ben Stone to resolve or to decide to pass it to Cairo Martinez on the lateral that early.
So Taylor Benjamin has to come out and punt this ball away, but a great punt as they get to the 5 and the ball rolls out of bounds. So Ottawa starting in dangerous territory. With 5.5 minutes left to go in this second quarter, Calvary look to march downfield and try to add on some more points. They'll come out in the heavy set formation. 3 backs in the backfield. Ball is handed off to CA, who's going to get the outside edge, and there's nowhere to go. He gets up to the 25 before going down.
And that was a good play. That was a good seal by his blocker right there. I couldn't see the number of who made the block for him. Number 38. What's his name? Couldn't catch it on my roster sheet, but number 28. Oh, it was Chris Komisak right there making a fantastic block for CA right there and just giving him a lot of yards.
So Ottawa gets out of that to the 25-yard line. This ball handed off to CA, tries to spin, but runs into his own man. Goes down at the 31, excuse me, for a 2nd and 4.
And it seems the past couple plays, just CA, this time finding success on his run game. A few drives ago, he has been being stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and now he's finding positive yards. Things are looking up for him.
Just over 4.5 minutes left to go, and the Cavalry are marching downfield. Weak I formation behind Vasquez. Going to drop back to pass. Throw this one out towards the sideline. That ball is caught and taken up to the 38-yard line before being tackled.
And Ottawa just sort of mirroring the Birmingham drive, slowly but surely moving upfield with short passes, runs down the middle. And if it gets us first downs, like I said, it's going to keep moving the ball forward because all they need really, is be in position to at least score a field goal, and they're sort of set.
Tight formation for the Cavalry as this ball is handed off to CA. He's dragged down behind the line of scrimmage, officially for a loss of 1.
Yeah, and Finley James reads that very well. Not only does he read it well, he breaks through the center and tackles CA even before CA could make any run move of his own.
So now 2nd and 11 for Ottawa. Birmingham trying to stop them, trying to get them to run this clock out. This ball will be handed to CA, who's got plenty of room to run. Gets an edge off of a great block and takes it up to the 40 before being dragged down.
And every single red uniform was able to block a white uniform. No one missed a block almost. And CA just saw this opportunity, just run his route really well. Beauty.
And they're just lucky and able to drag him down from behind. The man who made the tackle was Lorenzo Washington, so making a great stop for the field, keeping them in this as Vasquez drops back to pass, throws this one over the center, and it's a big hit after the catch.
And we see here the numbers of wide receivers right here. Gene Valentine for 76 yards has been the top receiver so far. Both teams, mixing it up with pass plays, running plays, but neither team finding much success with either, except for the one huge touchdown by Ottawa.
The Cavalry at the Birmingham 35-yard line, 2nd and 5. This ball's handed off to CA again. Going to get about 3 before he's taken down. Or they give him 2 on that play.
And it looked like he could have gotten more. He was able to make several defenders miss. But yeah, good tackling by, how do you pronounce his last name? Rowe?
Rowe.
Good tackling by Rowe. And, prevents a first down.
And the ball again handed off to CA, who's going to try to get to the edge, but only get to the line of scrimmage as Birmingham just comes quick and hard, ready to make the tackle.
Yep, you're right there. They read it really well. They send 3 people to stop the run play. And, it works out for them. They force another punt out of Ottawa.
And we get to the 2-minute warning. The Cavalry up 7-3. You are watching the SFLm on YouTube. As the Cavalry come back out on the other side of the 2-minute warning, ready to punt this ball away. They'll take their time before taking the snap. The kick is up and going to go straight towards the sideline. Angled that kick very far to try and pin back the fuel. Didn't really work though, as the ball only reached the 16 before it went out of bounds.
And here we go with Birmingham with 2 minutes left, and how the flow of this game has been going. I don't see this going for a score given their ball position as well, but I am waiting to be surprised by both teams.
Ben Stone going to go under center. 2 receivers to his left. Going to drop back to pass and throw this one to Martinez. Who's going to get just past the line of scrimmage to the 17-yard line, where Brody Gaulch makes the big tackle.
And do you see how the Ottawa Cavalry defense plays with much urgency? Even though a defender misses a tackle, as you said, Gaulch is right there on time, to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. So this defense has been on point so far.
A back on each side of Stone in the backfield. 2 receivers to their right. He's going to step back and throw this one to Martinez, who's again going to get to the line of scrimmage and be dragged down. They're just going to settle for these quick, short passes to end the half.
Yep, and I guess, as I said, the pace of the game sort of prevents them from reaching far enough to at least score a field goal, but they don't want to pin themselves back too far and put Ottawa in the position of their own to score.
And the ball by Stone thrown towards the sideline, but thrown just a little too late, as the receiver has to go out of bounds with their momentum moving forward. Zach Lay on the catch.
Well, and this is what I was saying. At the Birmingham 22, as they punted away, they're just, Ottawa has an opportunity to be in good ball position with 50 seconds left on the clock to maybe set themselves up for a field goal and extend their score to 10-3.
Yeah, Birmingham didn't really seem to want to commit one way or the other on that drive, whether they wanted to run the clock out or if they wanted to try to get down the field and score. And they could possibly pay for it with 41 seconds left on the clock. The ball for Ottawa taken to the 46-yard line.
Yep, but it's still going to be up to Ottawa to make those plays that set them up. So we shall see. Both teams, the defense has been stellar so far. The one huge play by Ottawa was for a huge touchdown, but besides that, everything has been stifled.
In a weak I formation in the backfield for the Cavalry. Vasquez going to drop back to pass and throw this one to the sideline. It's caught and pulled in. Just 5 yards gain on that play. 2nd and 5 at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, but it stops the clock. That only killed 3 seconds off of the play clock, or sorry, off of the game clock. 38 seconds, a gain of 5 yards. 3 seconds per 5 yards. Yeah, that's doable. They can do it for eventually a field goal or a touchdown.
And the Cavalry going to go again in the I formation. A receiver on each side of Vasquez. He's going to take a step back to pass this ball, throw towards the sideline. It's caught and taken out of bounds at the 41-yard line. They are moving down the field quickly, but saving a lot of time while they're doing it.
That's true, and this is the opening they see in the Birmingham defense, unable to cover those out routes, and just throwing those quick outs for 5, 6, 7 yards, and it goes out of bounds. This is some high-level clock management right here.
They will have 2 receivers on the left side of the formation, 1 to the right, and a back in the backfield. Vasquez under center hands this ball off to Say, who's going to go pretty much untouched until he gets to about the 10. He'll break the tackle and walk into the end zone for a touchdown.
No way. And when I thought that the pace was going to slow down because of the defense, I get proven wrong again. And this is why I like the minor league. They're just ready to prove us broadcasters wrong. They're just ready to surprise everyone. And CA with a huge rushing touchdown right here, breaking several tackles. Oh boy.
I'd like to see the reaction of head coach Javier Vasquez on the sideline. I mean, I've got to imagine he's just as shocked as we are. I don't think they were trying to go for a touchdown there. The luck fell into their lap and they were able to take it in. So Amy Shalizzi will await the kick. The snap is back. The kick is up, and it is good. The Cavalry take a 14-3 lead, just about headed into halftime. So 26 seconds left on the game clock. They will kick this ball off to the Birmingham Fuel. They'll check, make sure their team's ready, and kick the ball off. Waiting back is Riley Quintero. He caught the ball and brought it up, got to the 28-yard line before he goes down. They have 22 seconds left to see if they want to try and get something done.
I'm going to put my trust in the Ottawa defense to prevent any sort of further advancement by Birmingham. But we have seen in the previous game, with just 10 seconds before the first half ends, a huge touchdown play. So we never know. We never know, Robert.
And Ben Stone will drop back to pass, throw this one towards the sideline, and they will get a 5-yard gain on that as Beth Horrell able to pull it in to the 33.
Yep, it's something. It's getting them closer. I wonder, eventually they'll need to make a big play of their own because they're in no position to score. Or, sort of just settle for the current score going into the half, prevent any further injuries, prevent anything wrong from going on. We'll see what they do in this play.
And they come out with the weak I formation, both receivers to the left side of Stone. Going to hand this ball off, and they get stuffed in the backfield for a big loss.
Yep, and Cairo Martinez trying to see what he can do before the half ends, seeing if he can make a play on his own, sort of scout out the defense right there, and the dying seconds of the first half. And that is the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen.
And I think they wanted to try and take a Hail Mary attempt there at the end of the half, but just ran out of time. Again, didn't quite seem like they were sure if they wanted to try and get to the end zone or if they wanted to run the clock out those last couple drives. So going into halftime, the Cavalry's been playing great. 109 yards passing, 108 yards rushing, just keeping the and their defense keeping Cairo Martinez with only 20 yards so far this game.
Yup, and I think the key point there was that the time of possession, despite being less for Ottawa, they are the team that has managed 2 scores, and their key is their defense. Yeah, they're not getting any, turnovers or interceptions, but neither are they allowing any big yards down the middle or down the sideline. No big yards gained, and they're not letting I think they have a perfect grasp of how to control the momentum, keep it on their side of the ball, their side of the field. And there were flashes of good offense from Birmingham, but Ottawa time and time again makes a big tackle for loss. There was a couple of huge sacks. So far, I'm impressed by the defense of Ottawa Cavalry, especially.
Yeah, and Birmingham has gotten quite a few big plays, but Ottawa able to get their feet underneath them and kind of collect themselves, stop Birmingham in their tracks like they did after that big kick return Birmingham had a little bit ago in this game. So we get ready to come back out and start the second half of this football game. The Cavalry up 14-3 and getting the ball first. And the kick by Nico Cappuccino is off and headed towards the field. It is fielded and taken up past the 20, almost to the 30 at the 29-yard line, where the Cavalry will start their drive.
And if Birmingham is going to make any sort of changes or adjustments, they could do some defensively as well, as they have allowed Say to make huge plays several times in their scoring drives. Say is the man to beat so far for Birmingham.
And they're in tight with Kevin Say in the backfield. The ball is handed off to him. He's going to get the outside edge again and go untouched. He's to the 45, up to the 40, where they will tackle him and bring him down officially at the 37. But Kevin Say averaging 10 yards per carry in this football game.
And man, number 40 strong safety Law makes a huge tackle right here, a touchdown saving tackle. He almost slips this tackle as you see Law's arms start to slide down his waist, but able to grip hard and long enough that he just makes a tackle right there. But Kevin Say, impressive so far, Robert.
Yeah, and Vasquez will come out, 2 tight ends to his left, and Say offset to the right. The ball is handed off, and he's going to get caught in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Something we haven't seen from him in quite a while.
I mean, that's right. They do eventually come, those tackle for losses, if you sort of rely solely or a majority of your offense through your running game. However, one might not be enough. They have to stop Kevin Say much more times. I'm going to foresee they run the ball through him much more.
And a weak I formation for the Cavalry as the ball is handed off to Say again. He's going to get up to the 33-yard line where he is tackled, facing now a 3rd and 7. You got to think the Cavalry thinking pass here with kind of a 3rd and long. Not super long, but would be pretty hard to get running at this moment. But coming out in the weak I formation, 2 receivers to Vasquez's left. They will hand it to Say, who gets just short of the line to gain at the 27, 4th and inches.
And Kevin Say, I think I can officially say he is on fire right now, Robert. He's just grabbing 5 yards, 6 yards, almost another first down for this one. It's not that he seems unstoppable. It's just that he takes every opportunity, every open gap, and runs through them. And, it's worked for his team very well.
And the Cavalry not going to try and do what most teams do, try to force teams off sides. Going to bring Shalizzi straight out and kick a 44-yard field goal. That is good. So they take a 17-3 lead. And, I mean, the Cavalry has been just dominant since they gave up those first 3 points. So Birmingham gets the ball back here. And I mean, it's not crunch time quite yet, but I do think they've got to try and get something done on this drive. Try and get at least 3 and bring that score closer to them. It's a 2-score game right now, down by 14. Kick is off and brought out to the 27-yard line. And just like to take a moment and bring in our great commissioner, Cameron Irvine. Cam, how are you doing tonight? How are you enjoying the games?
I'm great, Robert. We saw a ton of offense from Annapolis in the last game, and this game has been exciting, man. Say is bursting onto the scenes.
And they're going to drop back to pass and throw this one behind the line. He's dragged down for a loss of 1. I mean, you gotta like what you've seen so far with these rookies, being the future of the Simulation Football League.
Look at the excitement from the crowd there. a lot of camera flashes out there on a first down play. I mean, just the enthusiasm across the minor league teams and all the support shown on YouTube all day long. I mean, this is just excitement's at all-time high.
Ben Stone gonna throw to the running back again, who's gonna gain 2 this time, but they're looking to go to that dump off pass quite a lot in this drive, and I don't know that it's working for him. The dump off pass has been something that's hit big a lot in the Simulation Football League this season, but not really working here so far. Ben Stone gonna take this one, trips to his right, and gonna try and get this first down, 3rd and 9. Drop back to pass and throw this one over the middle. It's almost picked off, and that will force a 4th down. So Cam, something I gotta ask, being more of a defensive-minded person myself, would you consider yourself more into offenses or defenses?
Yeah, I like points, but I like the big hits too. I like the fumbles. I like offenses having to try a little hard. So I'd say I'm pretty balanced. I like the 27-24, just drag out good football games. I think balance is best.
Yeah, I kind of assumed you were gonna say defense. I mean, I do believe it was you that we have somewhere on film saying, "I want you to hurt. I want you to feel it."
Not necessarily physical pain, but yeah, I mean, we want people to feel happy with losses or happy with wins and disappointed, with losses, because that means that there's more trying involved.
Yeah, I think if anybody's ever happy with losses, it's time to get them out of the locker room. Wins and losses are a big deal, and we've seen that in the playoff race this season in the SFL. Las Vegas beating the number 1 seed to end the season, but not able to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think if you're sad by, or goodness gracious, if you're happy with a loss, your locker room will probably throw you out before any of us do.
The ball handed off to Kevin Say, able to get up to the 45-yard line where he's taken down, now facing a 3rd and 4. And, it's been an impactful season all around. I think you touched on it earlier. Sioux Falls and Atlanta only ever playing once in Atlanta. I'm sure you've got to be excited headed into that game.
It's going to be an awesome matchup, and some breaking news that for the first time in SFL history, we will have a halftime band. The Hurricane Shane Band out of Tampa. They've done some block parties for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, among other events. They are a fun group, and Shane, Dylan, Mike, and Todd will be there in Atlanta to play some tracks and get us through to the second half, and that will just add to the flair and festivities of the championship game on Sunday. So we're really looking forward to putting on that show.
And the halftime show, always a big event, always fun. and keeps people involved. I'm sure that you're excited to be able to break that news. Just like the more news you've got, as you'll be able to break the new teams coming into the SFL with the expansion bids.
It has been so hard to keep the secret of who's got the teams, who won the bids. It was a very close vote. A lot of worthy candidates. I think every team that didn't get a team got interest, got praise, and their time will come. But it's going to be an amazing 15th season. We've got 22 first-class teams in the league, and I can't wait to see how it all shakes out.
Derwin Nuevo with a big sack on Ben Stone, give him a loss of 5. The field now facing a 2nd and 15. Ben Stone spent a lot of time on the ground so far this game, and they've really got to figure out how to get their offensive line working. This pass is thrown over the middle and caught at the 25-yard line, a 3rd and 5. And, I mean, obviously you can't show favoritism, but I've got to ask, just kind of out of curiosity, if you had to pick a SFLm favorite, not even like your personal favorite, but who you think's going to do the best, what team or teams would you have to name?
Well, you'd like me to say Boise, Robert, so it's a trap question. I think I've been really impressed. I was really impressed with the first game between Albuquerque and Lincoln, just from the simple fact that the two teams played so even. They were so evenly matched. This game's a 2-score game. Madison came back on Annapolis. We haven't seen, just a horrible blowout yet, in the minor leagues. So it shows that these teams are well put together, and ready to compete. But just JQ, I mean, he had 50 passes in the first game and did not throw a pick. There was I'm trying to remember who it was. Forgive me, I missed the Cameron Shaw. How could I forget that wonderful first name? He had 7 pass deflections in the game. I mean, this 7 pass deflections is awesome. So we've already seen some pretty amazing performances. CJ Arthur, had a huge debut for Annapolis, and Curtis, another Cameron, dominated with 4 touchdowns. So this has been fun, and now Kevin Say out there balling for Ottawa. These names, these storylines, by the time we get to the draft and have all this film, it's going to be an amazing draft.
Yeah, when we got Cam Frosby in this game, I'm starting to wonder if you were dishing out some money, getting guys to take your name. As Kevin Sagan to break off a big one, get up to the Birmingham 30, where he would be taken down 175 yards and 1 rush touchdown. I mean, that's a stat line you see a lot of even the major league running backs struggle to get. I'm sure you kind of touched on it, but he's got to have you interested in his future so far.
What do you think of Say's game today, Mark? You know good running backs when you see them with Sudo Nakai up there in Vancouver.
Yeah, what I'm impressed is how he works well with his blockers, just reading his routes as they open up, and just right there, he sees a gap down the middle of the offensive line and just takes it. And big gain. He takes a tackle. He takes it on a big tackle, and he's good. He's back up for another play. And as you said, these are the kinds of people who I am excited about if they ever decide to transition to the major league. But down here in the minor league, it is just so fun to see them proving themselves. And I think that's the story of most of these games. That these guys are trying to prove themselves to everyone.
I think Kevin Say's been watching BDG Hollywood film, getting ready for his game. Spin moves all over the field as the Cavalry face a 3rd and 5 on the Birmingham 25-yard line, set up to at least get a field goal here if they can't get the first down. Vasquez under center, 2 receivers on each side of the formation. He's going to drop back to pass and throw this one to the sideline, but Gene Valentine going to go out of bounds just before he crosses the line.
Yeah, that looked close to me, but That was really close for another first down, and this is what I was mentioning earlier about Ottawa. They were just much earlier. They're able to find just the little plays that makes them advance the ball little by little. And Kevin Say is just a driving force of whenever they need a big play. Kevin Say is there to haul the whole team up for the field.
And the field goal for Shalizzi is up and good. So the Cavalry take a 20-3 lead in this game. And again, since the first 3 points of the game, they haven't given up a single point.
Not a single point, and I don't even remember, or I don't even think they've allowed Birmingham to go past the sort of the midfield, if much.
And the kickoff by Shalizzi. Back and awaiting is Birmingham. The ball is brought out past the 20, past the 25, up to the 30. A spin move to get the ball to the 35-yard line. And Birmingham has started a drive here before and kind of fizzled out, looking to get things done again.
Speaking of someone who's watching BDG Hollywood's tape, but yeah, as you said, this is something where they have started, but nothing came out of it. And they're going to be having a long day if they can't muster up another first down of their own.
And Ben Stone will drop back to pass, throw this one to the sideline where it is caught for a 6-yard gain at the Birmingham 41. And we do have Commissioner Cameron Irvine here in the booth with us. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll see if we can get answers. Ben Stone with 2 backs in the backfield takes the snap from under center. The step back and hand this ball off. Going to get past the line to gain up to the 46-yard line and get a first down for the Fuels offense.
Yep, a quick run forward, picks up a first down. Good recognition to see the gaps in the middle by Cairo Martinez right there. And speaking of questions, I do have a question, but this one is for you, Robert. Seeing as how we are in the SFL Minor League, I've heard that you are a head coach for a team that's going to be playing in the next game. What do you think about the minor league? How has it been so far for you?
I mean, I think it's a great addition to the league. A lot of young people able to get in and, learn what the SFL is about. Not only that, but give guys that don't have any coaching experience in the SFL a chance, such as myself, or, the coaches in this game, Javier Vasquez and Adam Wiseman, just giving everybody a chance to learn and really expand on what they know in the league. And, I'm excited to see how this game pans out and how my game pans out tonight. I know my staff personally has, been working real hard the last week and a half trying to get everything figured out. So, it's a very exciting thing. And Cam, Drew Reilly asked in the chat, what am I watching and how do I join? I'll let you take that one as the mastermind behind the league.
Yeah, I think Drew is trolling you a little bit. You know who Drew really is.
I know.
But for all those who don't know the answer to the question that he knows, of course, you're watching the Simulation Football League, and you're watching the minor league of our great association. And essentially, if you want to be a player and you want to engage with the only interactive piece of sports entertainment out there, then this is for you. The website's right there on the screen, simulation.football. You can check out the different types of subscriptions there and get a subscription, get in the minor league, off and running, and have a good time. It's all about having fun, and the immersion is the depth goes deep, and so it's pretty exciting seeing all the different twists and turns people can get involved in with.
And the Fuel is forced to punt on that drive. Ottawa gets the ball back, and Vasquez throws this one, but it's tipped by the defensive back and put down into the ground. So Birmingham, again, not being able to get good field position to a scoring point.
There were a couple of questions earlier about some team locations, and you know, we don't necessarily place teams in markets, you know, just because we want to be in those markets. We always find the best ownership groups, the most qualified ownership groups, and usually where they are located is where those teams end up finding a home.
Yeah, there was also a couple questions about who the teams were, but I didn't figure you wanted to spill the beans on that quite yet, so I just didn't bring them up.
No, you got to watch the championship game on Sunday, 3 Eastern, 11 Sports for the fans, and those could be unveiled as soon as the pregame, as early as the pregame, so you won't want to miss a moment of the broadcast.
And I believe you said that was going to be you and Cade Stevens on the call. I know myself and Stephen Hacker are doing stats for that game. I bet you're fairly excited to have, you know, an all-star cast working on that game.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's always great to have, especially throughout the playoffs, just kind of the best of the best from the season, you know, showing off their talents and passion and energy for the SFL. And I can't wait to see who comes out the victor in this game. Either way, we'll have a new SFL champion for the third season in a row, so couldn't be more excited for the matchup, and you know, just enjoying some great football here today.
And do either Sioux Falls or Atlanta have a championship in their belt anywhere, or are they both, you know, kind of new? Not necessarily to being in the championship, but winning it.
Well, yes, necessarily so. They've never even been either team.
Wow.
So this is a big deal for all those guys. What a hit! All those guys, you know, it's huge. This is their moment, guys and girls, and it's going to be an event unlike any other.
Yeah, and Ben Stone there calling for a flag, but you know, as you said, it was just a big hit, fair play as Quintero caught the ball, but not able to, you know, tuck it in and hold on to it after that big hit he took. So facing a 2nd and 10 now, the Fuel looking to try and get into scoring position here with 19 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Ball going to be handed off and taken past the first down line up to the 30, to the 20, and dragged down at the 17. So we've seen Kevin Say get those big runs all game, Mark, but this time it's Cairo Martinez able to break one off.
Yeah, and finally showing his stuff right here. This is his best run of the game so far, Robert. And he's, you know, he's sitting a lot of time in the bench watching Kevin Say do his stuff, and he's thinking to himself, you know, I want to do that too. And here he is, you know, proving himself.
And that is the end of the third quarter. You are watching the SFLm on YouTube. Get your fours up in the chat as the fourth quarter is starting. The Birmingham Fuel at the Ottawa 17-yard line, looking to get into the end zone for the first time today. Ben Stone going to drop back to pass and throw this one, but Martinez not able to pull the ball in. It was right in his hands. And Arizona Scorpions point something out. I mean, Cam, how big of an opportunity do you think this is for the rookies to have the chance to be scouted by these SFL teams?
Well, just today, you can already see, I mean, when this quadruple header is over, people are going to be talking about certain players. It's just natural. You know, you get to see all these guys and who has great performances and who doesn't. And by the time we reach the end of the season, there's going to be, you know, 8 different weeks of that conversation. And and players having good outings, it can do a lot for their draft stock, and this is the ultimate rookie showcase now.
Ben Stone in the center, throws deep towards the end zone, but the ball is swatted down, goes to a 4th and 13, and they're going to have to take another field goal here.
Yeah, and the Ottawa defense again impresses despite allowing a huge run. You know, they sort of they held the bend but not break philosophy right here, and not only did they not break, they stopped them at the 13-yard, or sorry, not the 13-yard line, at the 20-yard line, sort of at a much harder field goal position than Birmingham would have wanted.
And the kick is up and good from 36 yards. So Birmingham pulls the score within, I mean, it's still a far leap, but now down 20-6, just a little bit closer, closing that gap.
Yeah, so now down to a 2-score game. As you said, they're closing the gap, but they still have their work cut out for them. With 10 minutes left, I can imagine that Ottawa, with such a successful running game so far, will just keep handing the ball to Kevin Say, and in hopes of just running down the clock, prevent Birmingham from making a comeback of their own. But we shall see what Birmingham has in store. They might need to pull off a defensive miracle to turn the tides towards their way.
And as Ottawa brings that ball out to their own 30-yard line, big return to set them up with great field position and give Kevin Say extra room to work in the backfield, try to get things done. But we have a question from Jack Wigmore asking if there's still going to be rookie showcase games with this new SFLm. There's a jump off sides by Birmingham. It's going to be thrown to the side, but going to be a loss. Granted, they got the free play, so able to take that as they need it.
Neutral zone infraction, number 50, defense.
And it will be a neutral zone infraction call on the fuel. So Ottawa takes a loss on the play, but gains overall due to the penalty.
And not what you want to see from the Ottawa defense right now. You want to play perfect defense, in order to set up a comeback right now. But with a terrible mistake, or with a mistake like that, it's going to be tougher for them.
So Vasquez will take the snap under center and hand the ball to Say. He's going to try to juke a man, but get ran over in the process. I mean, not much you can say about it, though, with 184 yards on the game.
Yeah, that's true, but still, I gotta give credit to Rain Rowe on that tackle right there, just closing the gap. As soon as Kevin Say saw the gap, Rain Rowe was right there in front of him, ASAP, tackling and preventing a first down.
Vasquez under center again, hands the ball to Say, but the field able to find a hole in the line and get into the backfield. Dropped for a loss of 3rd and 6 now.
Yeah, these tackles for losses are just piling up on top of Kevin Say. And as much as we are saying that he has been having a good night, the linebackers and the defensive line, they have been having their own hits against Kevin Say so far. So, there is a chance, even though if it's slim, there is a chance that they, make a defensive comeback.
3rd and 6 for the Cavalry. Vasquez going to throw it out to the sideline. Ball's caught, but not before they stepped out of bounds. So 4th and 6 for the Cavalry, and Birmingham's going to get the ball back. So with 8:44 left to go in this ball game, the Fuel's got a long way to go, but they get a big stop on that drive and able to see if they can get something done this time. Punt is off by Tony Law. Back awaiting, and they get it. Take it up past the 30 to the 32, where they will be tackled.
It's worth noting before I go what Tom Rahman just mentioned in the chat about Andrew Rastelli's work and effort on this on the SFLm. He's the guy that put together the rosters. He collaborated with Jermaine Smith on uniforms and with some other people around the league. He's handled all the builds for the players. He's handled player allocation. He has done just about everything, and I'm here sort of producing his works today and throughout the season. But Andrew Rastelli, in his first public day as deputy commissioner, he's done a fantastic job.
And I mean, he's dealt with me pretty well, which I'm sure you can say is a pretty tough task at times.
It is an incredibly difficult task, yes.
Birmingham taking the I formation. The ball will be handed off, but stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So the Fuel now facing a 3rd and 4 as Martinez not able to get that edge and turn up field.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to, reach the sideline fast enough and find an opening to cut in to the right or to the left and gain any yard.
So Ben Stone takes the snap from under center, drops back to pass. This one is thrown and caught, but a flag, or not caught in the end. Flag on the play, and I gotta assume that one's gonna be a pass interference. The defender was all over the receiver.
Yes, it is, I believe.
And it is a pass interference. So the Fuel get to continue their drive after Kenny Fenimore just kind of plays a little too rough on man coverage.
Yeah, and I feel like Birmingham now, they find themselves where they might have just enough time to score 2 points, or 2 scores right here before the game ends, but they have to perfectly manage their time right here.
And the ball is handed off to Cairo Martinez, taken down at the line of scrimmage. I mean, Birmingham just not giving up on this run game that most of the game hasn't gotten them anywhere.
No, and basically the outside running has not worked good for Birmingham so far. Ottawa just on point, stopping any outside runs, and you saw the defensive tackle or the linebacker run with the running back and just stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Ben Stone gonna drop back to pass, throw this one. It's caught over the middle and taken down at the 41-yard line. I mean, Ben Stone taking his chance and doing what he can. That ball's caught by Zach Lay. 132 yards on this game for Stone, just trying to get things done.
And I think that's the kind of play that they need, to sort of push them out, give themselves the best chance to make another score out of those sort of medium to long passes down the middle. Sure, there is risk involved, but if you're going to make a huge comeback, you got to put in the risk. You got to take the risk. And, these plays that they are running, they're mixing in their running plays, I don't think it's going to cut it, because not only is it shaving time off the clock, it's not getting them any yards. I really would want to see Birmingham right here put the ball in Ben Stone's hands, see what he can do with the ball. Because, as we've seen, he has thrown several throws into coverage and worked out for him.
I formation for the Fuel after Martinez is stopped behind the line for a loss of 1. This ball thrown backwards by Stone.
Wow.
And taken down for a loss of 5.
Man, that was like the defense just read that perfectly. What can I say? They were on him. They were on Cairo Martinez before the catch was made. That's how good their reads are.
And in this drive, it kind of feels like Ben Stone showing some of those rookie nerves, trying to shake that. So he throws this ball to the sideline. It's caught for a first down, and they try to spin back into play, but Zach Lay not able to get there as he steps out of bounds.
And it's sort of a 50-50 between Ben Stone showing nerves, but also Ben Stone showing flashes of almost genius, sort of extending the play and throwing in motion, connects with his receiver and converting for a first down. So, a little unpredictable, but Ben Stone, showing his worth on this potentially scoring drive for Birmingham.
Cairo Martinez in the backfield, bunch formation to the left. Oh. This ball's picked off. Takes it back up to the 31-yard line before being taken down. And Ottawa just sucked the energy out of the Fuel.
you could say they siphoned the fuel out of Birmingham right now. Oh boy, that's gonna take the wind out of you. You're so close to making the score. With 5 minutes, if they would have made a score, and have 4 minutes left for Ottawa to score and then make a stop and then score on their own again. But now Ottawa might have just sealed the deal. They just got to play smart and play clock right here, clock management, and they win the game. What a play! What an interception!
And the interception was made by Brody Gulch, who has had a huge part of the defensive game for Ottawa, getting in a lot of tackles for loss, just all over the field, and gets the interception there. So now a 2nd and 7 for the Cavalry. Got to think they're looking at Kevin Say, as you said, just running out this clock, letting time tick down. But Vasquez going to drop back the pass, throw this one over the middle, and it's caught at the 39-yard line. And catch made by Leonard Butler Sr. I think the Fuel defense got caught off guard on that one.
I mean, it's what you are expecting the leading team to run clock by running, just running the ball. You would definitely get caught off guard by that, and Birmingham were sort of on the wrong end of that stick, getting caught off guard with that, allowing several yards gain.
Weak eye formation for the Cavalry. The ball is handed to Say.
Oh boy!
Power ahead for the first down. Now getting at the 43-yard line. 4 minutes and ticking.
And we see sort of the difference in styles between Kevin Say and Cairo Martinez, where Cairo Martinez, in his attempt to run outside, sort of just stays horizontal. But Kevin Say, even as he's running out, able to find vertical yards, move a little more forward than and find more success in the outside running. I'm telling you, Cairo Martinez, he is someone to watch in the coming weeks.
Vasquez under center, heavy set formation behind him in the backfield. One receiver to his right. He's going to hand the ball off to Kevin Say, who's going to get a gain of 1, but go down at the 44.
Yeah, and if there's any bright side for the Birmingham defense, is that some of the schemes that they've put out there to stop Kevin Say has been working. So it means that to some degree they're scouting. Well, there isn't anything much to scout, but their understanding of the game sort of has been paying off. And number 56, David Harrell, on that huge tackle to prevent any large gains from Kevin Say.
Vasquez under center. Say is offset to the right, and Vasquez going to stretch the field to give the ball to Say. Not able really to go anywhere on that play as he stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And that's again another good stop by the Birmingham defense. This time by player number 99, defensive tackle Finley James, another tackle at the line of scrimmage. Good stuff. But this past 2 plays, that's good defense on Kevin Say right there.
So now a 3rd and 9. Cavalry looking to continue running the clock down. Just over 2 minutes left to go. Vasquez under center, 2 receivers to his left. The ball's handed to Kevin Say. Going to get up to the 49-yard line where he goes down. It's a 4th and 2, but they're headed into the 2-minute warning. And Mark, with just 2 minutes left to go in the game, I mean, it's going to be tough for the Fuel. I don't know if they've got the time to overcome it at this point.
No, and this is you got to give a lot of credit to the Ottawa Cavalry. Displayed at a pace, slow down the offense of Birmingham, and prevent any of those huge plays that take a short amount of time. And as an effect, you sort of look at the clock and say 2 minutes, 2 scores. It took them a lot of time before Birmingham could make a field goal of their own. So it is looking hopeless. You got to give credit where it's due. But as well, Birmingham, just kudos to Birmingham showing up. There were flashes of good defense, flashes of good offense, especially the tackles on Kevin Say sometimes for huge losses. That Birmingham still has something in them. Maybe just a little tweaks, Robert, and I think this game could have been theirs as well.
Bunch formation to the right side of Stone at the start of the play. Going to throw it out to Cairo Martinez, who takes it up for a gain of 2. And they got to go hurry up. They got to try to get downfield quick. Ben Stone under center, same formation, going to pump fake and get sacked. So they will have to take their first timeout following yet another sack on quarterback Ben Stone.
And that was Derwin Nuevo making a huge sack. That's the kind of things that you want to see in your defensive line. And this is what's impressive about the Ottawa Cavalry defense, is that you are working at a high level and all in all parts of your defense, a defensive line. Your secondary has been working really well so far, and that has what's given Ottawa huge success defensively. Another sack.
Ben Stone tries to scramble out, save himself a little bit of time, but gets sacked again, as you said. Now facing a 4th and 19. And I mean, at this point, they've got to try and go for it. Got to try and score, but it's going to be tough facing a 4th and 19.
Yes. Nothing else to say. We keep saying sacks. It has been overstated. The front line, they just pierce through like a spear and unable to stop it. The Birmingham Fuel offensive line, not much going for them.
And 5 wide for the Fuel. This one thrown over the middle, and Brody Gulch able to knock the pass down. So the Cavalry will take over at the 11-yard line. And, I mean, they're just letting the clock run out at this point.
Yep, and as we look towards the end of this game, Robert, I mean, besides Kevin Say, we've talked about Kevin Say a lot, but who, for you, who do you think, who else impressed you with their game, whether it's defensively or offensively?
I mean, I think the play by Brody Gulch was fantastic all game. Got an interception late, but overall, getting tackles for loss, helping out his team where it's needed. And I mean, it's shown as they're up 20-6. And the Fuel now, without any timeouts left, minute 24 left to go. I mean, it's pretty much the game at this point.
And if you're fans of Birmingham Fuel, do not worry. This is just the first week. Even though it's at a loss, we always say the first week means nothing unless you can turn that loss into a string of wins. So chin up. I gotta say, Robert, even though they are on the losing side, I am impressed by the few things that they have been successful.
Yeah, they had a lot going for them in this game. Ben Stone playing solid play, throwing an interception late, but other than that, done pretty well for himself. And, they got something to build under in Birmingham. Just got to get some of the odds and ends set. And on Ottawa's side, I mean, they have a strength in Kevin Say. And it's just a matter of if they can build off of that as they take a knee.
100%.
And with 35 seconds left to go and counting, probably just going to come out, kick the field goal, and end the game. They've got to make one more play as the play clock is just ahead of the game clock. So Amy Shalizzi will get one more chance. And they'll let the clock tick down for the snap. We'll come back. Her kick is up, and it is good. And, I mean, they'll have 3 seconds left on the game clock for a kickoff, but at this point, it doesn't really matter for Birmingham.
Yep, and it's safe to say, it's safe to give our congratulations to Ottawa for their first win of the season. And that's the third team to win this week on what in my opinion has been a great opening week in the history of the SFL minor league.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying this, make sure you stay tuned. At the top of the hour, 8 Eastern time, you have Boise traveling to San Jose. Another big game, one I'm personally excited for, obviously, being the head coach of Boise, but the game is officially over and the Cavalry take the lead. And I mean, Mark, they just played lights out, especially in the running game.
Look at that, 205 yards. A majority, if not all of those, were from Kevin Say. And yeah, we saw right there 150 yards by Ben Stone. If not for a few pass deflections and the interception, I'm pretty sure we could have seen more from him. But great game overall. Kevin Say, I'm going to bet you, Robert, that Kevin Say is the player of the game.
Oh, I would have to agree with that.
Okay, so bets are off.
Over 200 yards of rushing offense. You don't see that much, and to get it done is huge. Also, shout out to the defensive line for Ottawa. Between Coverson and Derwin Nuevo, 4 sacks between the two of them. And, I mean, they had a couple more, but not by those two. And on the Birmingham side, they will look to come back next week. As we said, they've got the building stones. They've got things to start off on, but they just got to get everything pieced in well. Got to get their offensive line under control. A lot of pressure on Ben Stone, and it showed 150 passing yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. And we get to see the player of the game here, and it is Kevin Say. 30 attempts, 197 yards, and a touchdown, along with 1 receiving yard. So a great game by him, and I'm sure it puts him on a lot of draft boards in the SFL. So for my broadcast partner, Mark Lopez, I am Robert Garrett Jr. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and stay tuned for more.